Hey, hey, my friends. I am excited here to be able to take you through a makeup tutorial, our fall glam slam. I wanted to welcome you as I teach you our Luxe Latte look. And you may have these colors in front of you, you may not. Don't worry. I'm going to show you everything that we use, and you'll be able to just get your basic eye tutorial. I do have eyebrows on just to kind of share with you because I've already done that. And I do have a little bit of CC cream on. I'm going to go back and do some more correction, but I wanted to take you through from start to finish just a couple things. So first of all, the one thing with this look that I can share with you is it is a beautiful neutral look. And it has a combination of just your matte shades, okay, which are right here, and then with a beautiful shimmer. And it's really nice when it comes to eye makeup, being able to combine the textures of colors on the eyes. And so you don't have to be all matte, you don't have to be all shimmery. That richness in the texture of the colors can make a nice difference in how your eye looks. There used to also be kind of a school of thought that, you know, when you were of a more interesting age, that you shouldn't be wearing shimmers. The one thing to share with you about Mary Kay's Chroma Fusion eyeshadows is that the shimmers are shimmery. They're like a pearl finish. They're not glittery. And so that makes a big difference in terms of how it looks on the eye. The other thing I wanted to share with you is, I know if some of you are all over the country, but for my South Florida girls, it is still like 90 degrees every single day. And you're thinking fall, like, how do I get into the fall mood? But you are starting to see the colors change, and it is fun to change your makeup look as we now getting into hopefully some cooler months down here. And then for my northern friends and all the rest Midwest friends, you'll see that the temps are starting to drop. And so we're wanting to change up our makeup a little bit. So I love being able to teach you how to shake up your makeup, a simple eye look. And this is the kind of look that I feel like will take you through fall. And by just adjusting a little bit with your lip color and your cheek color could make a difference on how to look. So we're going to go ahead and dive in and get started. I want to go ahead and start off first with one of my favorites. And of course, you can feel free, like in the comments, you can post any questions that you might have. But I'm going to go ahead and just use our eye primer on the eyelid. And if you have any sort of questions, even though I'm working semi here without my glasses, but if I do see any comments here, I can go at you can feel free to just put them in here. And even if I don't see them during the live, I can always go back and answer afterwards. So let's see, here we are, a little bit more. Now you might notice that I'm applying this with my ring finger. And the reason is that your ring finger is your weakest finger. So you do the least amount of tugging and pulling, which is what you want. You want to be real gentle with that eye area. Okay, next thing. So if you are here, by the way, in watching live, I'd love for you to just comment and say hi. I'd love to know where you're watching from, to see who's here joining me. If you are perhaps at some point, not yet, but watching this in the replay, I'd love for you to go ahead and comment there. I'm putting a little bit of under eye corrector, which I know I'm going above the eye, haha. But under eye corrector is a fabulous neutralizer for any darkness around the eye area that is either bluish or purplish in tone. So I like putting it across the eyelid because it just, our eyelids are very translucent. So it really helps as we apply this across the eyelid just to even out the tones on the eye. So I always say this is like probably for those of you that have joined me for a makeup tutorial before, you'll see that, I may mention that if you weren't going to wear any eye makeup and you just put a little concealer on the lids, how it just brightens up your whole face. And so that correction with uneven skin tone, both on your face as well as your eyes, just creates a beautiful, even look without really looking like you're wearing any makeup at all, which is really cool. Okay, so back to our beautiful Luxe Latte look, which is right here, these 4 eyeshadows. I am going to go ahead and, I guess my background blur is making that a little challenging for you. So I'm going to take the first color. Hello. Okay, I haven't gotten the hang of this yet. This is Blossom. Okay, so I want to take Blossom, and I'm going to apply the Blossom up underneath my eyebrow. And I'm going to bring it down into the corner. And so you see I make that like wide arc. I just want to make sure that I get the color in here, a nice highlighter just to create a little bit of brightness in my eye area. The next thing that I want to do is I'm going to apply a little bit of that color, just a little bit right here on the inner, I guess, half of my eyelid. Because what I'm wanting to do is highlight, and I want to create a little bit of depth. Now, if you're wanting your colors to go on a little bit softer, the ones that come after this one, then you can take that base color like Blossom and you can apply it over the entire lid from eyelash to eyebrow. I like leaving a little gap in the middle where I'm going to apply my midtone because I want that color to go on with the intensity that it looks. So we're going to go next to hazelnut. Okay, so that's the mid color right here. Hazelnut is like, I don't know, I think every woman needs hazelnut in her makeup palette. So I'm actually using our eye blending brush in the crease so I just love how it blends as it applies. And this is where you can see the eyes start to come to life because look, now we have a little bit of depth. Now I want you to stick with me because as you see me apply this whole look, you're going to see in phases as we're doing it that it's going to look a little bit wild. And so that's kind of the progression of applying eyeshadow. So here we are. You just feel that. I call that the windshield washer motion. And you don't need to be afraid. Like, get that color on there. And you can always use your pinky to just brace it. But that arch. Now, it's going to create immediately, like it creates some dimension to my eyes. So I'm going to dust off this brush just on the back of my hand because now I want to come in and use it not to apply the color, but I just want to blend it and soften it. So this is just a gorgeous, simple neutral. Okay. Now again, in the chat, if you're joining us and you just came on in, go ahead and say hi in the chat. I'd love to know who's here. And just to feel free if you have any questions. So far we've done Blossom, and we've done hazelnut. Now we're going to go to the mahogany, which is the accent color. And I'm using, you can see, let me just show my hand so you can see the shape. Hello there, Miss Melissa. You can see the crease brush. Kind of amazing without my glasses that I could actually see you. Okay. We're going to take that mahogany. I love mahogany right over here. Mahogany is a rich reddish brown, but it's deep. And so it's not your flat brown. It's not like the color of coffee. It's got a little bit of color to it. So I'm going to take this color and I'm going to just pat it right on the outer corner. See how crazy that looks? See, this is where most of us get nervous and go, oh my gosh. And you decide that you're going to quit right here and you need to blend it down immediately. But as you can see, as I'm applying it, I'm really wanting it to go on with the intensity of the color. So I just flipped that brush. So from here, and just flip that brush. And here we are. Now we have our sideways V at the outer corner. I blended it ever so carefully, just a little bit into my crease. And I kept that sharp point out there. At the end, I'm going to come back in and I'm going to blend it. But now we're going to do the other side. So you see just patting mainly down on my lid. And one of the questions I get, and you can feel free in the chat here to ask any questions you wish as we're doing this. But one of the questions that I get when it comes to this outer corner is, how do I know where to stop? And so if you see the natural, like if we take it, from my nose to the edge of my eye, that's the corner of my eye, we don't want the eye color to go beyond that. So if you take a look at that, you can see that I created a natural border, right? Now what you'll also see is that really my eyebrows should be extending out to that line. And then with that, you have the perfect frame to your eye. So let me just see what I'm doing here in my mirror. So I just kind of keep applying that color until I get it to the desired intensity. So in the mirror, these look even. I know one of the light on one side of my face is coming a little brighter, so it looks like one side is a little bit darker. But I'm just, again, taking the eye blending brush, and I'm just going to softly, and you can see I'm kind of doing a circular motion, but I'm coming inwards. I'm blending inwards. And the reason that I'm blending inwards is if I start blending out, then I'm going to drag the color outside here. And I don't want to drag the color outside of my natural eye line. Now, what happens if you do? What happens if you do? I've got a fun solution for you. This is one of the reasons that I oftentimes love applying foundation and concealer last, because you can always clean up if you have a little bit of color drag that either fell off the brush and fell under here, which is making you look like you have dark circles that you don't, or if you blended too far out and that color um, came out beyond your natural eye frame, then you can always clean it up with a little bit of concealer. So you see, I'm just kind of pressing the color, just light little circular motions, and until I get to the desired softness that I have. So with this color, depending on the intensity of how you apply it, can really determine how bold you want the look to be. So I'm going to go in with the final color here, which is Candlelight. And this is where the fun begins. So I'm going to just dust off this brush and I'm going to show you two different things. So first I'm going to apply it with the brush and I'm going to really kind of get right in here, just go right over, and I want to get a decent amount of that Candlelight because that's where the highlighting and that little touch of shimmer comes. Now, I don't know why, I don't understand it, but all I know is that it does come out different. Is you can do, when you really want that intensity with the shimmer, is you can use your finger. So I'm going to just dip inside my Candlelight and I'm going to apply on the other eye. And it goes on a little bit more, a little shimmery, maybe because less sticks to your finger, but it's so subtle in the camera. I don't know if you can see it, but this has a little bit more. It just grabs the shimmer a little bit more than this eye, which is a little bit more blended. Now, another fun thing that you can do is you can take your brush and you spritz, if you ever want your colors to go on with a little bit more intensity, makeup finishing spray. This is like, I don't know how I ever lived without this. And if you don't have makeup finishing spray, it is for certain something you want. But you can take and just spritz a little bit of this onto your brush. So yes, it wets the brush a little bit. And then you can dip the brush into your high impact shimmery color. And you can go, and because it's a little bit wet, it really, and then it's got the finishing spray, so it's got amazing sticking power. That is going to create a little bit more of high impact shine. So hard, kind of can't see, but I can see it in the mirror. I'll have to take a selfie when we're all done. And I got a little color up too high. So there we have it. So there's the eye look. And here we are with eyeshadow, but with no eyeliner, and it looks a little crazy. So I don't know if you want to vote, because I was thinking we could do it one of two ways. Is I can either do brown eyeliner. We have our amazing new waterproof eyeliners, or I can do black eyeliner. So if you want to post in the chat what you think you'd like to see. And obviously the difference between the two is the brown eyeliner is going to be a little bit of a softer look. The black eyeliner is going to give a little bit more depth. So just in that difference of the eyeliner colors, you can take this look from daytime to nighttime. I'm not suggesting black eyeliner is not appropriate for daytime. It's perfectly fine. But if you're wanting to soften up a look, you can really do that with the eyeliners. So, or I could have a little bit of fun and I could do one-on-one. So do we have any votes? If you want to go ahead and put in the chat, should I do brown or should I do black eyeliner? Take your pick. One of each. Okay, that's what wins. All right, so our new waterproof eyeliners are amazing. And in case you didn't know, it has the little shaper inside the cap. You would not even realize, well, it's not the cap. This is the cap, sorry. But you have the little shaper. So if you want this color to be able, and let me see now what I'm doing because I don't have my glasses on. So let me just make sure. I'm just going to give a little shaping, sharpening to this color because I want to get a little bit of a sharper point. Okay, what did I just do? Oh, I keep twisting the color back in. You too can be a Mary Kay girl. There we are. Okay, so now I got a little bit of shape to my, let me just wipe that off, put that back inside, wind this down a little bit, and I'm going to apply our brown. So this eyeliner just glides on. It goes on so easily, so beautifully. and its staying power is incredible. So you can see just I have the lightest touch and it's just going right on. Our new brown is a little bit lighter than our old deep brown, and I like it. I wasn't sure if I was gonna. I'm like, oh my gosh, because I will tell you, it's so nice to have a color that doesn't look almost black, like you really can see the difference. I'm gonna go ahead and go underneath and just tilt my mirror a little bit. And I love a little bit of a wing at the end. So I'm gonna pull this color out and create a slight, not quite a cat eye, but a little bit of a wing at the end. So there's our brown. You also know that I tend to love to do a little bit of smudging with putting a similar colored eyeshadow on top. I'm going to skip that today just for the sake of time. And I'm going to now go with the black on the other eye. And you see, I like to start right in the middle. And just these light feather-like strokes, almost, unless it's a liquid. It's really hard to talk and do eyeliner at the same time. Unless it's a liquid, you really don't do it in kind of one perfect line. You just keep pulling the line, pulling the line, pulling the line until you get it everywhere you want. So you can see already just a little bit bolder, a little bit softer. And I'm going to go ahead and go underneath. Let me just, and I only come just about to the middle. I'm going to come back out to pull. You know what the worst part about tonight is going to be? Is I literally didn't put makeup on today because I was hopping on here live with you all, and I didn't feel like putting it on and taking it off. Is that now I'm going to be looking cute, and there's nowhere to go but to wipe it off. Okay. What I am going to do now is I'm going to take the smudger brush, and this little smudger brush, I am going to pull this eyeliner before it sets. I want to just pull it in so I can drag the color all the way into the corner without applying a heavy eyeline. You can also put a little bit of shadow if you wanted right on this brush. So that way it just provides a little bit more smudging. Now I am going to go back and take a little bit of the mahogany, which is this deep brown, and I do want to do a little smudging underneath. And I'm going to do it on both eyes because I just want a little bit of a softness, a little smokiness underneath the eye. All right. So there we have it. Okay, going right in to our mascara. I'm using our Lash Intensity. Let me tilt my mirror here. And if you have Lash Intensity and you didn't know this, there's two different zones on the wand to be able to apply the mascara. There's the really super short bristles, and then there's the longer ones. So I start with the short ones to just deposit a good amount of mascara on, and then we go ahead and we turn the brush a quarter turn, and the longer bristles are going to extend the lashes and make them longer. So first we're working on kind of thickening, and then we're working on extending. And this is where the super length comes in. This Lash Intensity mascara builds the lashes and lengthens them like almost 200%. So it's kind of fun because looking at, I don't know if you'll be able to see in the camera, but looking in my mirror right now, it's crazy the difference between this eye and this eye, seeing how much longer my lashes look. I'm going to do a little wiggle on the bottom. Okay, we're going to go. Now, this mascara, you can do multiple coats. For the sake of time tonight, I'm probably not going to, but you certainly could. So you could go back after you do this eye. So again, we start with the short bristles, and then I'm going to do a little quarter turn and get the long bristles in there. And now the real lengthening begins. And you could stay on the same eye and do another quarter turn because you've got two sides of those short bristles and you've got two sides of the long ones. So you can just kind of keep working at applying. I don't think there's any such thing as too much mascara. I mean, there can be if you really do a lousy job applying it, but There is nothing like big, beautiful lashes when you have beautiful eye makeup to match. And I do think that mascara, it really should somewhat match the intensity. Look, oh, I made a boo-boo. I'll teach you what to do with that too. Notice how I'm leaving it alone, not touching it until it dries. But one of the things that I think is important is when you're wearing eye makeup, you don't want like these crazy, like fake looking eyelashes and then with like almost nothing on the eye. I do think that there needs to be a little bit of balance. So do a little wiggle on the bottom. I'd love for you to put in the chat, do you apply mascara on the bottom lashes? I know like there's very passionate feelings about where we put mascara. You can see I couldn't help it. I went back to this other eye for another coat. Do you ever apply it on the bottom? And the reason that I ask is people are very passionate about either putting it on the bottom or not putting it on the bottom. Personally, I feel like my eyes look undone unless I have it on the bottom. I think those of you that have really dark lashes may feel like you don't need it on the bottom. Those of us with lighter lashes, it just feels unfinished to have this beautiful, glamorous top lash and nothing on the bottom. All right, here we are. We might be going in for another coat. So just kind of keep working it. And you can see, I think, in this application, what I love is that despite this being a very intense mascara, it still keeps the lashes looking feathery and not looking clumpy. So you can see just these brush strokes, how we're able to do that. Okay, now I have eyelashes. Yay! Okay. And I just kind of keep going, as you can see, until it gets to where I want it to go. Okay, so I have a nick there with mascara. I made a mess. So I wait until it dries, and either I will take a Q-tip or I will take a concealer brush and I will just wipe it away. And when I do a Q-tip, it's easier. It comes off easier when it's dry. If it's wet and I would have gone right for it, it winds up not looking good. Now I am going to come back in and do a little touch up. Even though I have CC cream on, I want to just do a little bit more. And I'm just going to add some through the center of my face. Now, if you have our liquid foundation, the Timewise 3D, either in luminous or matte, you know I usually like to use a brush, but I'm using my fingers today. If you have those, they're really buildable. Like, in other words, you can really continue to add the coverage. So, you know, I've had my CC cream on for most of the day today, and I'm just adding a little bit of a finished look in the center of my face because after a day out, I just could use a little extra. Now I'm going to go back and I'm going to clean up a little more and brighten up underneath the eyes with the under eye corrector. And I am going to do a little spritz. I'm going to let it sit like this and do a little spritz and wait until it dries and sets a little bit. And I'm going to go back in and blend. In the meantime, I am going to do my lips and then we'll go back and do cheeks. So I have our new waterproof lip liner in Pink Nude. And I'm just going to draw. And this is a very, very soft color. And the focus in this look is definitely the eyes. What I love about these new waterproof lip liners is they're amazing standalone. So you can see I'm filling in. Okay. All right, we've got the lip liner on. I'm going to go back and I'm just going to blend a little bit here with the under eye so we can have a nice bright. Also, then the under eye, when we make it a little bit, I don't know, smoky underneath, sometimes we need to clean it up a little bit. So going in this way after the fact just creates a nice, clean, bright look. I'm going to finish up with a little bit of our silky setting powder. I love the silky setting powder. I just made a little mess. And I just tap some into the cap. And I'm going to use our powder brush and dip in. And I'm just going to finish up underneath. And I get the question like, do you have to use powder? Yeah, you kind of want to use powder. It just sets the makeup. Even if your skin is not shiny or oily, it makes a difference in how it looks and appears. Okay, fun part. Now we're going to go in with blush. And this look calls for Rosy Nude, which is right here. And I'm going to take our cheek brush. Go ahead and just, I feel like blush is the game changer because everything looks a little bit, almost too even, a little washed out until we get some blush on. And this Rosy Nude is just a super soft rosy nude color, just like it says. And for a little dimension, one of the things I'm going to add is we have our creamy cheek color from summer. And I still have some of these in stock. And I'm just going to add a little bit more color to the top of the cheekbones. This has a little bit of shimmer to it. I love these colors. So you see, like it's not blended, right? I just put it on there. I'm going to go back and just use this brush just to soften the tops of the cheeks. Give some beautiful color. And then we will be finishing up with our Bashful You Nude Semi-Matte Lipstick. You can see the focal point here is the Luxe eyes and a very minimalist, soft look. So there you have it. There you have Luxe Latte with some flat hair and all of the beautiful colors in this palette, the 4 eyeshadows, the Rosy Nude blush, and for a little extra fun, the peach shimmer, just to add a little bit of highlight to the tips of the cheeks. And we have our beautiful waterproof lip liner with our semi-matte Bashful You. And of course, I had the brown on one eye and the black on the other. I don't know if you can tell. Oh yeah, you can see it. Not on camera, but you can see the difference. Just one looks a little bit bolder. So there you have it. Thanks for joining me for our Luxe Latte. If you have any questions about colors or application, feel free to drop it in the comments. I will definitely be monitoring them. And, you know, some of you were not able to get on live, but you're watching the replay. So for sure. Uh-oh, what just happened to my camera? Here we are. Did we lose me? We might have lost me. There we are. We're back. Okay. So if you missed out and did not get to join me live, you can just see the beautiful look. And if you're wanting this and you didn't get a glam kit and you'd like to try out these colors, feel free to just let me know, get in contact with me, and I can always get you a makeover kit. So until next time, when we do our next glamour event, I'll be putting out in the next few weeks a poll, and you guys get to choose the look, and then we'll go live to do it. So just we can see what are the colors that you're all wanting to learn. But thanks for joining me. Have an awesome day and an awesome night, and I will see you all next time.